So, hello guys, welcome to Pathologic. It's, again, another one of those late night streams, just like my home front, which I just recently finished. Pathologic, whatever, is a Russian game that was, I don't know if you could really say critically acclaimed. I mean, over there it definitely was, but in America, it was slightly well known amongst like the lower, like the imported crowd, I guess you can say. It wasn't mainstream, but those who did know it usually liked it. But the problem they had with it was the port was horrible. In other terms, the translations were fucking ungodly. But this is the Pathologic remastered, and the problem is, again, the translations are good in this one, but the issue with translating is it loses its meaning and significance because this game has a lot of influence from Russian culture. So it kind of loses its meaning when you Americanize the fuck out of it. Because a lot of the references will be missed. And the game focuses a lot on politics, which, again, Russian politics and American politics, very different systems, and it has a lot to do with families. But the main premise of the game is you're a doctor of some sort and you're trying to stop a plague or trying to survive the plague. Better yet, it doesn't matter. Either or, it just affects the ending. And yeah, Sand Plague. Let's get into this. Should probably turn the volume on. Strange, volume's already on.
Allow me to remind you that an epidemic of unknown origin has already eradicated a few genuinely distinctive towns in the northern part of the country. The cause and circumstances of these tragic events remain uncertain. There is a lot we cannot explain yet. It appears as though the plague has a mind of its own, as if it is driven by some irrepressible will. Why else has no one managed to fight it successfully? Why does it target the most precious aspects of our existence? The sand plague picks its victims fastidiously, and the same principle always draws it back to whoever tries to oppose it. Surprisingly, we've yet to hear a single word from the powers that be.
Okay, hello guys, welcome to Pathologic or Pathologic, whatever. Uh, hmm, I don't know if this is working this time, but I guess I'm gonna just play it, whatever, you know. Yeah. Last time I tried it, the software wasn't working, and I gave a long ass speech. So, I'm gonna check right now, actually. Okay, problem solved. Yeah, it works. So, Pathologic. Pathologic. It's a Russian game about defeating a plague. You are a doctor sent into the Ural Mountains, or the Russian steppes, whichever you want to say. It's steppes technically, but I like to say it's the Urals. And your whole objective is to defeat the sand plague before it kills everybody. Either that, or you can just try to survive the couple days before everybody dies. And with it being a Russian game, it came over to America as a port. It For the import crowd, in terms of like the cult following, it was very well liked by its small knit community. The only problem with the original was the Russian port was horrible. They had a horrible, horrible translation, and the English crowd got so confused that they hated it. But yet again, when it comes to this sort of thing, the Russian like translation makes a big fucking difference, because when you translate things you tend to lose this meaning, and a lot of Russian folklore and like what's the word I'm looking for, like mythologies, folklore, culture, that's the word I'm looking for, is lost. So then this is the remastered version that I'm playing. That's why it's in a good 1080p. And yeah, they actually translated it better for English sized audience. So we're going to lose some of the meanings, but it's the same game, same premise, same everything. So let's just get into it.
So, this is all about trickery, too. Wherever have you come from?
No, no. I detest trickery. But if we ourselves are to suffer deception, our hands are no longer tied. Where are we?
Well, the muscular contracts the ear. Maybe you're already inside. This must be one of the ventricles, right here.
Damn it, I can't see where I'm going. There we go, I think I got it. There we go.
Daniil Dankovsky, a Bachelor of Medicine, was brought here by circumstances most unfortunate. Dankovsky's lifework, his theory challenging the existing notions of human mortality, is being harshly persecuted by the powers that be. Suddenly, a letter arrives from a colleague suggesting that there is previous undiscovered evidence which may support Dankovsky's claim. There is a second letter, it says, breathed by an extraordinary man who may well be seen as objective proof of Dankovsky's daring hypothesis. Grasping at straws of hope, Dankovsky decides to follow what he believes to be the sign of divine providence. Without further ado, he sets off for the settlement. Late at night, Bachelor arrives in the town. As he seeks room and board, he gets to know a girl called Eva Yan, and stays at her place for a week.
As of today, my mission remains obscure. The examination of Simon Kane, who is rumored to be a man of incredible longevity, may shake the very foundation of modern theology and challenge the existent notions of death itself. However, even if this undying Leviathan proves to be more than a fairy tale, the mere confirmation of his existence won't suffice to prevent the powers that be from shutting our laboratory down. I need to figure out the most fruitful approach. Simon is a well-respected man, and if he mistakes my interest for effrontery, it would be nigh impossible to convince him to help me break new ground in the field of human vitality. Okay then. Day 1. By the end of the Bachelor Festival, battling a truly invincible foe. Okay, gnarly. Anything in here I can take? No? Alright, that's a bed. What about... Oh, fists. Okay, cool. Haven't played this game in a long fucking time. I know blonde bitch is downstairs, and that's like the first quest. Sup, bitch?
I had a feeling you would come.
Yeah, go figure. Did the sounds from outside wake you up too? There was a terrible groan, and there's something snapped loudly. There are strangers in the backyard by the pond. They're unlikely to be planning mischief, but I have a bad feeling about this. I'm afraid to go down. Oh, but go away soon. Stop stirring sleep. Why do you think they are playing something foul? Our population is so thin, crime is basically non-existent, especially here in the stone yards. Sometimes there are pranks, of course. Fights happen occasionally. People are young here, so they often go out at night. But we're a tight community, and now I hear unfamiliar speech. That's not a good sign. I'll go out and take a look, but I'm in a hurry. I must see this founding father of yours. Are you willing to trade the company of a fascinating woman for that of a dreadful old man? Even if he is a sorcerer, that's so sad. But Simon won't go anywhere. He always has been, and always will be. Even if the moon were to fall to the ground. Please stay with me a little longer. Simon is a sorcerer, I hear you're right. Is that the secret to his longevity? Are you in that much of a hurry? Do come round. The canes are asleep now. Take your knockabout coat off. Have a rest on my bed. Let me warm your hands. You are so anxious to see Simon, as though your life depended on it. My life, yes. Now that the laboratory is on the brink of destruction, my whole life's pursuit depends on that remarkable man. If he has really managed to live that long, then his tissues will help me defeat death. Death, so that's the enemy you've chosen for yourself. Isn't it a bit hard? I don't think anyone has managed to defeat that evil yet. Millions of doctors defeated it on certain singular occasions, but my enemy is more fearsome. It is death itself rather than the singular case of death. I don't understand. I can barely understand it myself. Could death only seem inevitable to us, but in reality be more than whim of the will that has shaped this world? That is the question. So where is the key to my victory? It's not far. The Kings live at the Crucible on Bruce Square, but could I please offer you some advice? Go on. Simon has two younger brothers. The eldest of the two, Georgie, is called the judge by the locals. Visit him first. He isn't asleep. He'll teach you how to speak with Simon. The youngest of the three is Victor. His daughter Maria also wanted to see you. It's probably important. Was it she who knew about my arrival beforehand? As she told me about it privately, talking to her is no simple task. Maria is that kind of person. She puts on airs. But that's just how the Canes are. It was Maria who told me that she would help you defeat death. That's the precise wording. What a coincidence. Alright, thanks for the advice. Fuck's sakes. Go on, and I'll prepare everything for your return. Do come back after you speak with the Canes. They will probably do a lot of things that will puzzle you and put you on guard. I will have some advice that may be of help to you if you need it. Okay, I'll come back. Alright, Simon Kane, the man of improper longevity, is waiting for me here. I hope you sympathize with my request. I only need a living evidence of the possible. 606. The mysterious Maria, Victor Kane's daughter, has been expecting my arrival for several days. She seems to know more about me than I do. Crucible. Alright. This mansion, called the Stillwater, belongs to a single girl named Eva Yan. An accidental midnight encounter provided me with a lovely companion and temporary lodging. Companion? I don't know. I don't really have much context there, but okay. Oh, howdy. Uh, let's talk to you first. Venerable Bachalor, please be so kind as to linger for a minute. This conversation won't take too much of your time, especially since time stops during dialogues, at least during the important ones. And our dialogue is extremely important. You need to know how to play after all, don't you? Alright, for those who don't understand plays and shit like that, the tragedian is the creator of tragedy or death or evil in a play. Play? What are you talking about, Masked Man? I'm neither a gambler nor an actor. Of course you are. You are a living, breathing man. As is evident from your conditions and statuses, you experience hunger, thirst, and fatigue. You suffer from pain, wounds, and disease. You're so lifelike. You have to eat, drink, sleep, and rest, and to make mistakes. That latter being the most definite proof of my human nature, wouldn't you agree? If I may, I would like to point out just how important it is to keep an eye on your condition. If you get dizzy or unnaturally sluggish, do have it checked up. Vital processes tend to run faster during emergencies than in everyday life. I knew a person who died of stress but was diagnosed with starvation. It happens. I can testify that as a doctor. Need I remind a wise man like you of the fact that hunger is sated with food? Food can be found in shops, and shops can be found in ordinary houses that are marked with specific signs. Sleep, however, is more complicated. People only sleep in beds and only in private residences around here. I am sorry, but that's just how the world is. Yes, the world isn't just. And quite silly, if you forgive me saying so. Speaking of commerce, different shops sell similar items at different prices. Make sure you don't get cheated. People can be quite brazen around here. You can also barter with the folk on the street. Some things may be nothing more than trinkets to you, but others will be willing to part with their life's blood for them. Blood? Yes, blood. It's not my place to lecture you, but if, following your Hippocratic oath, you ever consider easing someone's pain, feel free to just approach them with a suitable drug. You will see their pain receding before your very eyes. The sick fall asleep when they're close to recovery, don't they? Or when they're close to their ultimate rest. Still, hoping the hopeless will grant you a good reputation. You will be seen as a benefactor willing to part with a precious sleeping draught or a painkiller for a simple bystander. Anything else? No, not yet. By the mask. What about you? Halt. I'm going to teach you about the technicalities of the setting. The time and the place, it's not essential, but that's just how it is. The actor has to be prepared before he goes on stage, or else he'll fall down the aisle or stumble upon a prompt box. That would look mighty silly, wouldn't you agree? You're going to have to teach me? Aren't you forgetting your manners? My manners? There are different manners of life and thought, none of them are mine. If everything goes awry, you'll get the chance to witness each one of them. That is something you should probably try to avoid. As for now, please forgive my rudeness. I'm in a special position here, and so I have the right to be blunt sometimes. And who are you? An actor in a tragic mime show. That's important. Will you listen to me or not? I'm listening. Time flies by. It can't be stopped or turned back. Nights follow days, which are then followed by nights. Things happen without any regard whether you're there to witness them. Don't expect anyone to wait for you. Most events can be missed. And so it would make sense for you to visit the places that you care about regularly. You'll find the people that will play major roles in your fate there. They stand out from the common folk. The rest are just the crowd shot, a background, a bunch of extras. As it always has been. Indeed. Still, it's best to avoid hasty judgment. It's a paradox, you see. Don't try to care too much for the lives of these bound to stand out people. And don't be too dismissive of the silent crowd. Both extremes will merely end in tragedy. And why is that? This world cares for your reputation, a fine and crucial instrument. Your reputation changes the world you see, for it is a mirror. Wouldn't you agree? And so a bad reputation gets you into a lot of trouble. For example, oh, need I describe? You've got vivid imagination. Everything changes from mystical aspects to mundane things like the people you need treating you badly. How many enemies you've got. How high the prices rise. How bad your dreams are. Lots of things. A sorry prospect, so how do I maintain my reputation? Really? How is that even a question? Same as anywhere. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not betray. Do not steal, do not covet, do not be a fucking asshole. Do not get caught. The rules are the same as everywhere. A truly selfless deed, like risking something for thy neighbor, or even a person who lives quite far away, can help in a dire situation. I see. Really? Good for you, then. As for me, I can't see anything under this fucking mask. I have no idea what is even going on, anyway. Don't get too worked up about human lives. And don't put too much stock into other people's words, mine included. He who trusts everyone is just asking to be deceived. Yet, he who trusts no one is deluded. I know that from experience. Now let's go figure out about this pond bit. There's a person camping. There's people camping. There's a fucking demon thing and a person. Damn squatters. Fuck you doing out here? What do you want? This ain't your business. What is this creature? An udong, duh. That's what all them cattle breeders look like. Crude, unshapely, and unfinished, don't you know? Wherever you come from. An intruder, huh? Yes, I'm a visitor in this town. Who could have thought it's home to such creatures? The worm feels sick. Head packed, blood boiling, belly freezing. Let the worm warm up. Let him take a rest. Don't touch us, we're dangerous. Get lost, I'm even more dangerous. Ouch. You can tell that the fighting mechanics in this game are really fucking clunky. I win. What's this guy got? Fucking 5 revolver ammos, really? What about you? You got a sewing kit, cool. Well, I'm hurt. Oh, my health isn't that bad. Alright. Well, let's go talk to Girly about a reward. Oh, no, Girly's over here.
What?
The ominous singing outside the window is gnawing at me. Who could be singing at a time like this? I'll take a look when I go outside.
I had a feeling you would.
Since you decided to fight death, you will have to be very careful. This September, you will be dying with every breath of the air. What does September have to do with it? This steppe is full of various herbs. They will fill the air with dizzying vapors. White whip, tyre, and Savavery, Swavery, yeah, are dangerous in August and September when herbs surrender their juices to the sun. People tend to get headaches this time of year. Heart sufferers lie in bed with pains. My heart aches too. How do people live here? Twilight is rare, so usually it's bearable, but this year it's unbelievable plentiful. The elderly say that this is phenomenal. Nothing like this has happened before. They think it's a bad omen. Well, I don't believe that. But the air is droning. Can't you feel it? Don't you feel dizzy? Yes, the air is heavy. You need to sleep often. Never go hungry. Drink more water. You need to look after yourself properly. If you feel sick, forget everything else and get some rest. Otherwise, you may die of a heart attack or bleeding. Be careful, alright? The more I think I do, the faster I die. The symbolism if I ever saw it. Journal. Apparently that's not the journal button anymore. Oh, well, that's letters. I was looking for journals, so... I keep pulling my fucking later out. That's my map. That's my infected scope. Alright, let's read this letter. My dear Bachalor Dinkolski, it was most disconcerting to learn that the powers that be have the intentions of shutting down the laboratory that owes its fame largely to your own research in the field of thanatology. Is it true that your detractors have branded your studies scientifically stillborn? Rejoice, Bachelor, for there is an observable case that would quell the obscurants that reject the research of death, aging, and necrosis as a subject that lacks academic viability. This case, were you to document it, would go a long way towards restoring your reputation as a scholar. The subject in question is Simon Kane, who has ruled the town where I live for as long as I can remember. Fuck, where did I lose my voice? Alright. This man's longevity. I keep saying longevity. Transcends the boundaries of what is plausible. It is phenomenal, no less, and I struggle to give an explanation of it with what scientific means I have at my disposal. Make no delay. There is a sensational discovery to be made here, a breakthrough that will not only save your laboratory, but also revivify your studies and greatly increase your scientific renown. Your humble servant and faithful colleague, Isidore Baruch. P.S. I spoke to Simon on your behalf, and he has kindly agreed to facilitate your effort. Daring ideas and far-fetched projects are traditionally very well respected in our neck of the woods. Okay, I don't know who the fuck you are, but yeah. That's a creepy ass picture. Why do you have a picture of a dead body in your house? This is a bedroom. Another bedroom. Hey, look at that. It's the princess.
There's more life in me that can be lived.
Creepy. You resemble an adventurer rather than a doctor. appearances can be deceiving. I saw you in a dream, don't flatter yourself. My desires had nothing to do with that. I simply saw you take us all by the throat. Cruel words. But also honest. What's so bad about it anyway? The strong manipulate the weak when they want to. And it is all in my hands. I have a lot to tell you, Bachalor Dekovsky, but I dare not, until you meet my uncle Georgie. Otherwise, I'll rip my tongue out for disclosing a secret. Some strict morals your family has. They make much more sense than you may think. This is not a game, is it? For all that is holy, do speak to my uncle, and then come back to me. Otherwise, the excruciating anticipation will tear my heart into pieces. Alright, we can put your heart at stake now, can we? The fucking screen tearing is real. So I have to play an old ass game on a brand new monitor. Most venerable doctor, it is with great impatience that we have been expecting you. You need not delve into the minutiae of your business with us, since our family is well acquainted with your scholarly work. We are also quite aware of the difficulties you are experiencing and will prepare to do our utmost to support you. It hurts me all the more to be the one to inform you that Simon, my consanguineous brother, the creator, keeper, and embodiment of all that surrounds us, has been murdered. Damn it! Why did it have to happen before I just arrived? Right as I found my chance to prevail? Precisely. Why did it have to happen before your arrival? Are you asking yourself the same question? Well, no fucking shit, I just said it. I hope you don't see any connection between my arrival and the murder. In fact, I do see a connection. However, do not mistake it for a thought that it was you who murdered him. What do you know? My brother was murdered last night under the strangest of circumstances, but for all the mystery surrounding his death, I'd rather eschew the notion that his departure was connected with whoever had visited Simon that evening. The visitor is a man of laudable rectitude, and an old friend of our family. There are witnesses to testify that he and Simon did nothing but converse. Has it occurred to you that your brother could have died a natural death? It won't be easy for you to accept it as fact, but this fact is not subject to debate. My brother could under no circumstances have died of a natural death. Are you implying that you can prove that? I'd rather not waste our time explaining the whole situation to you, Doctor. Even if it helps me substantiate the claims that you are trying to justify to see as extraordinary, my dear doctor, I cannot imagine what kind of infernal aptitude the killer of Simon Kane must have. For Simon could not have died a natural death, so murder is the only feasible explanation. I do not doubt that your brother could fight death like no other, but there was not and could not be any mortal man. Kind of help do you expect from me? It could be that my mind is clouded by sorrow, but I cannot escape the feeling that your arrival was no coincidence. Your choice was made for you, my dear doctor. Let us not blame fate for it. Isidore wrote you without making us aware. He took a risk that could have displeased our family. Why do you speak the word fate in such disgust? I prefer the word time in a fatalistic sense of notion, of course. So Simon wasn't aware that I came. Even though we were uncertain of when you would arrive, my brother was looking forward to meeting you. The tragedy may have been a consequence of the actions he took in preparation for your arrival. Someone has taken a powerful piece from the chessboard, a piece upon which your position here depended. It is doubly Regrettable, doubly regrettable that Simon was playing on your side. So you presume the queen knew of the blow and sacrificed herself for a pawn, but why? To grant you victory over death. Was it not your ultimate aspiration? To help you, Simon seems to have played a very dangerous game with fate itself. He went out of his way to provide you with a body of evidence. If that is indeed so, I feel obliged. Do you want to help us, Doctor? Find the murderer for us. My brother Victor, who is in the wing next door, would share some of his thoughts on the matter. Help us, and the reward will not disappoint you. Indeed, it seems that there are way too many coincidences. Your brother's murders can just as well be called a murder of Bachalor I will help you in every way I can. I am convinced that if there is anyone at all that can help us unsolve this puzzle, then it is you. This mission calls for someone as astute and inventive as yourself. If Isidore was an instrument of fate, then Simon's murder is a message that fate intended for you personally. Do not think I am inclined to blame you for that. I am not. How do you plan to find this murderer? We will take our own measures. The only thing I expect you is to do yourself. The only thing I expect from you is to be yourself. You can tell I'm getting fucking tired. Do only what you think is required. Whatever you find out, whatever you do, whatever your day turns into, everything is a clue to the solution of this puzzle. I repeat, everything that is happening here is happening on your account. You have my sympathy. Alright, let's go talk to the brother and then go talk to the daughter. The famous Dr. Dinkovsky. Your arrival is a great honor for us. Victor Kane at your service. Denis Dinkovsky at yours. I foresee that the things that have become ordinary for us will probably make you feel uncomfortable and disturbed. I would like to compensate for that impression. You know, our small community has fallen out of the loop. Time leaves us behind. Don't worry. How can I help you? Georgie has told me everything, which is to say he told me very little. But it was enough to astound me. He maintains that you can provide a more detailed account. So you have agreed to help us? I have. May I ask why? We share a tragedy. I want to exact vengeance upon the one that robbed me and my work of a future. The killer's goals seem to align astonishingly well with the goals of those who have been waging wars against my work for years. I'm prepared to answer any questions you may have. When was Simon last seen? He sent Isidore home. Then an hour later he came to this hall to see us. He announced his plans to withdraw to the Focus and receive no one. He told us not to approach the Focus and to fast for a week, partaking of neither meat nor water. Then in the morning he was found dead. Why no meat or water? Our explanation is that he wanted to be mourned beforehand, as is the custom with the local people. This is very like him. So he knew in advance that he would die. I think between me and you, that is precisely what my brother Georgie fears. I can say nothing more about that. How was the body discovered? The servants discovered him in the morning. The room had been ransacked. Everything that was breakable had been broken. His disfigured, contorted body bore signs of terrible suffering. His neck was twisted, his spine broken, I think. No one has touched the body. It is currently inside the focus and will remain there for the prescribed amount of time. What's this focus place? It's hard to explain. It's a study, if you will. An extraordinary spacious creativity laboratory, almost perfectly sealed off, except for the door that was visible at all times, metaphorically speaking. I don't understand. It's like an equation, a mirror puzzle. Anyway, the murderer could not have been hiding in there. Take my word for it. Well, Simon did get in there somehow. He could perform far more impressive feats. There's a reason why this whole town revered him. Tell me honestly, dear Victor, did Simon exist at all? Bravo, Doctor! There is indeed a spark of genius to you. Alas. Yes. Yes, he did. Alas. It's not that I would benefit from his death, alas, for that would be too simple of an explanation. Simon well and truly did exist. That is exactly what's left everyone in disarray. It was so hard for them to accept his existence that the thought of his demise is now driving them mad. You're all his heirs. Would you all benefit from his death? Didn't the old man rather overstay his welcome in this world? His death is a challenge to our continued existence. We are neither insane nor suicidal. Who do you suspect? Just take a look around. Trust your intuition. Do whatever you like. Speak to whoever you feel the need to. Look for the murderer, Doctor, and you will find them. Keep looking till the last breath. I am sure your rational thinking will help you. So Isidore's the only lead. How can I find him? I'll show you, but you must be careful. Simon's murderer, whoever they are, cannot be an ordinary person. I can't imagine them even being a person. I fear it could only be fate, wearing a guise of a mysterious monster. I'll be careful. Alright. Now listen closely. The time for collusion, secrets, and alliances has come. I am going to ask something of you. I am not used to that. I'm used to holding the reins, but you are not harnessed, so it would be unacceptable to address you in this manner. I find solace in the fact that my request will be welcome with you. It fits the style of your venture. I'm not an adventurer, and my job is no venture. I hope it never becomes one. I apologize if my words come across as mingled and silly. I am truly not used to asking, but the nature of my request demands complete and selfless humility. Just imagine me begging and kneeling, and believe me, I do feel that way. No need to kneel. What did you want to talk about? Today's death was the first, but it won't be the last. Simon has opened the score of irreplaceable victims. Soon their numbers will multiply. I beg you to preserve the lives of several people when the lines of their fortunes cross yours. Before any of them dies, there will be a moment when you will be able to intervene. I know that is a fact. Who are these people? That doesn't matter. What was destined to happen will happen. You can be whatever you want to be, but not a coward choosing to hear no evil and run away from reality. I'll give you a list of the people, those I know of. These people are bound to you. What in the world's going on here? You trying to fuck with me? Ah, yes. You haven't been told, have you? It didn't even cross my mind that someone may be unaware of my abilities. No one here dares doubt them, for they are evident. Yes, the mistress of the ruling house possesses special abilities. I am learning to see the future and transform the present. Forgive me, but I don't believe in this type of phenomenons. Will you comply with my request? Will you save the lives of the people I name? You answer me before going back to Eva. How do you know Eva asked me to come back? I know Eva. She wants to safeguard you from my nocturnal intrigues, doesn't she? She tries to touch the mysteries of our family, to learn the game we're playing. Well, talk to her. Perhaps you two will manage to uncover some bits and pieces of the Kane's dark conspiracy against humanity. But you haven't given me an answer. What will it be? I'll do as you ask, Maria. My honor bids me to. And you'd better not give me the cheek. You won't like me when I'm angry. Whatever happens, these people must live. Their fates are bound to mine. They may well hold the keys to the victory in their hands. Georgie Kane, Victor Kane, Andre Stamaten, Peter Stamaten, Maria Kaina, Eva Jan, and Mark Immortal. Ah, it's these fuckers again. Alright, what do you got to say? There is something in particular we feel the urge to warn you about. When you speak to the bound, please choose your words carefully. Do not worry, you will easily be able to make out what kind of person is standing before you and observant man that you are. So use that skill in dealing with the bound. Some of them are indeed worth insulting, whereas others must be treated with the utmost respect. If I ever engage with conversations with someone, it won't be for personal gain. Each conversation will bring you a small profit depending on the outcome, of course. Depending on the outcome. Every line you utter will have consequences. News spreads rapidly around here. If you spoil your reputation in one place, you'll have to reap what you have sown in another. Restore your good name in the south, and you'll receive a warmer welcome in the north, though you will heed every word you say, and you'll be rewarded. Not by means of money, I hope. A handful of money is not a dialogue fee, don't get me wrong. Never refuse to take small sums of money from the bound. That would not belittle you in any fashion, but would rather demonstrate that you appreciate the local customs. I'll keep local customs in mind. The town is small and rather unexceptional, isn't it? But there are all kinds of people here, the simple folk, and the more remarkable ones. The former will tell you more than you know. The latter know way more than you will ever be going to let out. Keep a close eye on them, your victory depends on it. And who are these remarkable people? There are 20-something of them, easily distinguished by their lodgings or their presence. They're called by many names: the bound, the fated, the adherents, the Gobos Taglar, the town circle. Simon preferred their company to any other. Is that a sect or something? No. There used to be a pagan game called Taglur, a roundelay of sorts. A Tagler means a kin circle, and Gobo is a character from a local epic. And so the people that Simon was interested in the most are called the Gobos Taglar. Some of them don't even know one another. So how did Simon choose them? Because it is they that will decide the fate of this town. Don't be distracted by the fact that some of them look insignificant and disreputable. They will earn your worth. You just give them time. They're the most important joints of the town. Why are you telling me all this? Each day one of them will try death by the tooth. Each will put their life at risk, and each one that dies is important. Some of them may take the keys to victory to the grave. Mind that the key are yours, while the grave is theirs. Others will do the opposite. Don't waste your chance to condemn someone who may get in your way. How do you know what is helpful and what gets in the way? Okay, you're right. Dropping you more hints would be cheating. Shutting up now. Allow me to conclude then. Each bound you save will influence the finale of your adventure. Each of them has their own goals and motives. It may so well happen that those who seek a different ending survive. And then, well, you've been warned. Okay, I'll take that into account. I'll be careful. And I'm gonna end the gameplay here because it's too fucking late at night. And my voice is getting dragged out. And, yeah. So, see you guys in the next one.